Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another Nintendo NX discussion video. And in this video, I've really just been piecing together quite a number of different things from past videos that I've done. Also doing some little bit of research and investigation myself based on what some of these people that are touting this whole Eurogamer rumor and stuff like that concerning the Nintendo NX. And just looking at everything together and just saying to myself, yo, something does not line up. Something does not line up based on all the comments, what developers are actually making, and what the rumors. Like, we have a triforce of sloppiness, of spaghetti all over the place. And I wanted to go over a couple different things here and get you guys' thoughts on it. So, I am extremely skeptical of the latest Nintendo NX rumors. Extremely skeptical. And it's not because it's not what I don't like, or it's not because it's not what I don't want or anything like that. Let me just say that right off the bat, because I already know I'm going to have some of you busters in the comment section rush to say that, which isn't a valid argument even to begin with. It's just your opinion on something, trying to discredit myself, but that's neither here or there. What I'm trying to say is that I'm extremely skeptical of these rumors because of the stuff that, of course, I've been reading from what Nintendo has been saying. I want to talk about a couple of these different things, and I'll break them down into topics. So the first one that I want to talk about is this whole Tegra thing. There's really no solid evidence of Tegra at all, based on anything. Tegra, Nvidia, they've had their Hot Chips event, which was on August 22nd or something like that, and there was nothing detailed. A lot of people were saying that at this event, that there's going to be something, there's going to be a hint that there could be a SoC design for Nintendo NX or something would come about from that. Nothing happened from that when it comes to Tegra X1 or Tegra X2. All they talked about was cars and bots and drones. So no gaming applications, at least from what I could see. I didn't see anything at that Hot Chips event. Nothing came out from major media about that. At investor meetings, even before that, when asked questions about gaming and the Tegra and how that goes, really nothing, no hints there. Now, do they have to hint anything? No, they don't have to. But you would think that if you want a multi-million or multi-billion-dollar contract, that we would get some type of hint to investors at this point. Now, and of course, there could be a rock-solid NDA, so we don't know about everything, but still, not even just the slightest little bit of hints, because AMD is under NDAs too, and they say, hey, well, we do have some SoC design wins. So at least they just say that to investors as far as money coming in. So for me, I've seen really little to nothing to Tegra other than people saying, oh, well, it's going to be that, and pointing out little weird things that has like nothing connected really to say that. So that's why I'm really skeptical about that, just because everything that we've heard on it is just anonymous sources, unknown from the interwebs. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to go on. So I'm really skeptical because of that. Now, the next thing that I want to move on to is info. At this point, everyone is pointing to, in all the rumors, pointing to a September reveal. So if it's a September reveal, don't you think there'd be at least a little bit more info than you've got, especially if you've got rock solid information and you have all these people that are saying, yes, this is 100% it, this is the Nintendo NX, this is what it's going to be, and you have all these different websites reporting. How come all we've gotten is some stupid dinky little mock-up, some controllers with haptic feedback, Wiimotes with haptic feedback built into them or something, and motion controls, okay, and just what, a screen, a multi-touch screen, 720p, like nothing crazy. Like, there's not really been tons of information coming out, especially compared to like the Wii U, which had a lot more, especially leading up right to the reveal of the system. We've gotten really nothing about it. And even with the PS4 Neo and even with the Scorpio, we've gotten more information as far as that goes leading up to the reveals than we've even had with Nintendo NX. Nothing has really been accurate at all. All they've just said is, oh, well, it's going to be a Tegra and it's going to have some motion control Wiimotes, and that was only one site. Nobody else really reported that. One site reported that, but you would think Eurogamer, the site that got that info, at least blew it up. It was actually out there before Eurogamer put it out there, but the site that blew it up and said that they have solid context, you would think that they would have learned about something like that beforehand, right? Why did it come from Let's Play Video Games or something like that? And why is no one else corroborating that or saying, yeah, that's right, that's 100% right? Everybody seems to be in a little bit of disarray when it comes to certain things over another. But there was supposed to be more info that was supposed to come, guys. If you follow me on Twitter, and if you're not, you should definitely follow me on Twitter. Also follow Super Metal Dave. There was supposed to be information that was teased by Eurogamer. I think his name is Tom Phillips, something like that. And it was also teased by Dr. Cupcakes, who is, what was he, Liam Robertson from Unseen 64. He was talking about how he's excited for Nintendo NX news. And this was early this week / last week, however you want to put it. And he was talking about how he's excited for NX news that was coming that night or soon. It's fire. And he said that Eurogamer is doing God's work. I don't have anything against them, but this is his tweets about what is going to go down with the Nintendo NX as far as a new information coming out. I think it was around like August 23rd, August 24th. And I also received a little heads up too that there could be more information coming from Eurogamer. And the day came and it went and no information came. Now what I've heard is that it got canceled for some reason, or it just wasn't posted. I wonder why. I want to know what happened. What happened to that information since it's so close to reveal? Eurogamer says they have these solid sources and you can't get anything more than a dinky draw-up. A speculation on a Tegra X1 or a Tegra X2, that's all you've got, and some breakable controllers leading up to the reveal? Come on. Let's be real here. Let's be real. What's going on? Why didn't that information come out? Everybody else is piggybacking on that information that they've had. Nobody has anything new to add to it other than that one Let's Play Video Games with some motion controlled Wii remotes, but is a play off of the breakable controllers that look like Wii remotes in the first place. So it's really nothing really new. Just they've detailed that a little bit more with their rumor. So I'm like, yeah, there's really nothing leading up to this reveal. There's really nothing, yet they have these sources and this is all they're going to tell them. I don't know about this, guys. I really don't know about that. But I really do want to know what happened to that information, because obviously they received information. They were hyping it up. What happened to that information? Why wasn't it released? And that's the question that nobody's asking. Some people are saying, oh, well, Nintendo might have put the clamp on them. Nintendo doesn't put the clamp on anything. They just say we don't comment on rumors and speculation. So I doubt Nintendo would have done anything, even if they knew about it and wanted it to be shut down or for the information not to be posted. They just say we don't comment on rumors and speculation, just like they did with the beginning rumor and just like they've done with all the other rumors that come out. So I wonder what happened to that information. I wonder what that information was and why they did not release that information and why they tried to subsequently damage control it and just say, oh, well, guys, I didn't say anything, like there was going to be more, you know, like they're trying to make it seem as if, oh, there was nothing that was going to come. So interesting that it never came out. And the last thing that I want to move on to is Nintendo's words themselves. And I've actually made multiple videos about this, guys. I have talked about this before and I'm going to talk about it again. Nintendo has said multiple things that directly contradict this information. And personally, you can say, yes, Nintendo could lie, but so can Eurogamer. But for me, I'm looking at Nintendo's words, and I rather trust those words. And that's why I'm skeptical, because Nintendo has said multiple times, quoted saying, we are working on our next home console. Reggie Fils-Aimé said that at E3 last year, or the year before, actually. Then, the NX could come in multiple form factors and be more like a family of systems. That's something that the late President Satoru Iwata said. Once again, that's a quote from them. This is a quote from Tatsumi Kimishima. I can assure you we are not building the next Wii or Wii U. This system is going to be completely different. We need to build separations from those systems. Well, a gamepad type of screen with breakable Wii remote controllers, that seems like a Wii or Wii U. That does not seem like something that's completely new. Tatsumi Kimishima just said that they need to get away from Wii or Wii U. They are not building the next Wii or Wii U. He just said that in December 2015. That the Nintendo NX is a completely new concept and device. This information that's coming out, that's not completely new concepts. That's not a completely new device. If I'm just going to speculate and guess, if I was just to guess based on Nintendo's words, I would think that Nintendo was going to build something, devices, share architecture, share games, can play the same games and at least have some exclusives, maybe on a more powerful console or something like that. That's what I would think based on their words. I wouldn't think that it was just one hybrid and that's all you're going to get for Nintendo NX. Now, the portable system, whatever it turns out to be, could be something to where you hook up to the TV, but I do feel that they're going to have a home console as well. And I don't think that they would use different places like at Tegra or use AMD or use DMP and then use Tegra or use just different stuff to mix and match. I would lean towards them at least just trying out maybe one person, whoever that supplies it. I went on record lots of times saying that I do think that AMD is going to supply for the Nintendo NX, just my personal opinion. So I would think that Nintendo has to develop something or is doing something to get AMD on board with both, but I don't know. That's the thing. I really don't know, but we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what they do. But whatever technology that they're building, it's something that's completely new. It has to knock your socks off. It has to be something amazing. Then again, Nintendo has to try to make a system, according to their own words, that's going to have games that can easily play between them, because Satoru Iwata even said that himself, that he wants to have a system, consoles that have easy ports between the two, because with the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS it was way too hard. So he wants to make sure in the future that that's eliminated. So when you look at what Nintendo has said, the device that they are explaining that they want to build theoretically is just completely different from what the rumors come out. So it's hard for me to believe them, and I'm very skeptical, and I would never disrespect Satoru Iwata enough to say that he just completely lied, or his plans, because he's too smart of an individual, but his plans were completely overruled and overwritten and replaced with this dinky Tegra X1 or something like that, which really isn't that new or a new concept and is kind of like the Wii or Wii U. So that would basically say that Nintendo is pretty much lying from Satoru Iwata to Tatsumi Kimishima, you know, and I am not going to sit here and say that. If I had to pick a side, or at least choose who I believe more, it's definitely going to be Nintendo, and that's just my opinion on the matter based on what Nintendo has been saying for the past couple years now. But that's my take on the matter. That's why I'm extremely skeptical. I'm not so sure about this information, but I do feel that we need to just wait and see. But I've given my stance on the whole matter. If I'm wrong, I have no problem saying, hey, I was wrong. It turns out to be whatever that is, whatever the journalists are saying or whatever Eurogamer and the people are saying. I'll say, you know what, I was wrong. I will own up to it. I'm not going to bury it or run away like some people accuse me of doing. I'm not. I'm a Nintendo fan, so whatever Nintendo NX turns out to be, I'm going to pick it up and play and judge it from there on out. But at the same time, I still have my doubts about the information that's coming out, because it's not lining up with what Nintendo's saying, with what developers, what I think developers, based on those small little tidbits of comments, it's not lining up. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the next video. Peace.